Hey, I have finally lost after about 3 months. So there's this other YouTube channel. I'm not going to name which channel it is, but this channel has had a lower number of subscribers than my channel for about 3 months, and finally he has surpassed me. Congratulations, dude, I guess. But anyways, today I'm going to do a movie review on Blade Runner. Blade Runner is directed by Ridley Scott, and it is a movie released in 1982. It is written by Hampton Fancher and David Peoples, and the screenplay is adapted from a novel by the name of Do Androids Dream of Electric Sheep by Philip K. Dick, released in the late 1960s. So Blade Runner is essentially a movie about Deckard. Deckard is a Blade Runner who is kind of like a police officer, but for replicants. And replicants are essentially like robots. They are very human-like, they are AI, they act very human-like, but they are not humans, okay? They are replicants. And it's illegal for replicants to be on Earth because they're supposed to be in outer space doing slave labor, essentially. And so Blade Runners are people who hunt after these replicants and kill them. There we have the story. This story takes place in 2019 Los Angeles, and this is one of those incidents where I feel like humanity has overestimated itself because 2019 is 2 years ago. When I'm reviewing this right now, it's the year 2021, and our world is nowhere near like the world in Blade Runner. Anyways, this whole cyberpunk flavor that Blade Runner has going for it is still magnificent. Also, before I start reviewing this movie, I will declare that I watched the final cut, which is 1 hour and 57 minutes long. So I didn't watch the original one, which apparently has voiceover, and I watched the final cut, essentially. First of all, Blade Runner is supposedly a somewhat inaccessible movie, meaning that a lot of people actually didn't like Blade Runner when it first came out, and I really see why, because as far as a sci-fi goes, this movie is actually kind of a slow burn. It is slow-paced, and it is not really all that intense or anything. I mean, we have the villains, they are the replicants trying to kill people, and then we have the protagonist. Yes, sure, there are the stakes, but the way this movie is edited and filmed and written, it's kind of slow and actually very calming and serene and even peaceful, which is very strange. But one thing I have to say about this film is that I actually ended up enjoying this film. I feel like Blade Runner is one of those movies where you can't really do a review on it after watching it for the first time. I watched it for the first time yesterday, and I feel like I will have to rewatch this. But still, even after the first time, I already like it quite a bit. Maybe it's because I watched the noir films last year, noir films from the 1940s and 50s, and watching Blade Runner, even though the pace is really slow, the characters are not all that interesting, I still get a really strong noir vibe from the story, the pacing, to the cinematography and the characters. It's just very noir flavored, even down to the smoking and drinking sometimes, which is really cool, and I actually kind of appreciate that and kind of ended up enjoying the movie more than I thought I would. That being said, though, it's still a slow burn, it's still somewhat slow paced, and I don't think it is a super great movie or anything. It didn't blow my mind or anything. Another thing about this movie that I really like is, of course, the visuals. Actually, the strongest element of this film is easily the aesthetics, the art direction, the production design. It is immaculate. It's up there with the production design of A Clockwork Orange and Barry Lyndon and I don't know, The Conformist. But the production design of this movie is beautiful, and it actually lost Best Art Direction in the Oscars to Gandhi for some reason, which I haven't watched. So maybe Gandhi's art direction is really beautiful. But Blade Runner, though, is got to be one of the most beautiful movies I've ever watched. Every single shot in this movie could be like a wallpaper or something. And there's also this strong sense of shadows, light and dark. Again, very noir, very noir. The more I think about this movie, the more noir it gets. You know, the shadow play, the light play, chiaroscuro. This movie has got it all. And yeah, the movie is calming, serene. The music, it's crystalline and very clear. And aside from the end credit sequence, every single piece of the soundtrack is actually kind of a slow burn, like a relaxing slow burn. And it's so intergalactic, it's so spacey and intergalactic. It's something else. It's really something else. And I actually really appreciate it when sci-fi movies don't really, go for the cliche, oh my god, space wars, explosions, bim bam boom, but approaches it with a more grim and kind of calming flavor, which is exactly what Blade Runner is trying to achieve in 1982. So I think it is fair to say that this movie is really ahead of its time. Yeah, the climax, it's frightening. I was actually more scared during this film's climax than during the climax of The Silence of the Lambs. So, enough said. The Tears and Rain monologue is amazing. Apparently it is improvised, which makes me wonder, what is the original script? In the original script, does that scene just end like that? It really seems to me that this monologue is necessary in order for the scene to end. But apparently it's improvised, so there's that. And I actually really like the ending to the movie. It is somewhat ambiguous, somewhat abstract, and is kind of a twist cliffhanger, and I kind of like that. So, yeah, Blade Runner, Ridley Scott, great film, good film. I'll definitely have to rewatch this. In my Letterboxd account, I made a private list where it's basically a movie I have to rewatch, but it's private because if I publish it, people are gonna think I'm a fucking loser for not being able to get the movie on the first watch. But yeah, still good movie, strong 8 out of 10. So, have you watched Blade Runner from 1 to 10? I would just rate it, like it, and subscribe if you want more. And thanks for watching. Next review I'm going to do is going to be a Chinese period film by the name of Raise the Red Lantern. And I would like everyone to put aside their political opinions just for a little bit when I review the movie, okay?